Good morning to all of you. Myself Venkateswararao. So today I am going to giving a lecture on the subject machine learning. Here the topic is a paradigm of machine learning. So also we can call it as a types of machine learning. Here we have a totally 3 types of machine learning are there. 4 types of machine learning are there. The first one is a supervised machine learning algorithm, and second one is unsupervised machine learning algorithm, and third one is a reinforcement learning algorithm, and the fourth one is a semi-supervised machine learning algorithm. So coming to the first one called as a supervised learning. What is a supervised learning means like it will works on the basis of a guidance. So like in this supervised learning we have a some input data having a mapping with the output. So the input value having a corresponding output value, so that it is called as a supervised learning. And the input having a corresponding output means it is a worked on the labeled data set. So what is a label means the input having a corresponding output value, so that is called as a supervised learning. So under supervision, so how the students will works with help of a teacher can complete the project. So like on the basis of that guidance, here we are going to completing the one learning called as a supervised learning. The supervised learning are of 2 types called as classification and regression. So what is a classification mean? This is one of the supervised learning technique. And if we have a input data, that input data having a values like a categorical values, so we should apply the algorithm called as a classification algorithm. So the classification are also again divided into 2 types like a binary classification and multi classification. So binary classification means the class having only the 2 values, like a 2 classes are there, we can call it as a binary classification. And what is a multi classification means the class have one class having the more than values, representing more than values, we can say that it is a multi-class classification. And regression is another type of supervised learning technique. So what is a regression means? Simply we said that it is a identifying the relationship between the dependent and independent variable. So the regression example is like y equals to mx plus b. So it is one of the Schreiber equation. So in this equation we have a dependent variable called as a y, and that is independent variable called as a x. When the value of x changes, that will be affected to the value of y. So we say that it is called as a regression. And coming to the classification and regressions are the types of the supervised learning. And coming to the another one called as unsupervised learning. So already told you that is the supervised learning is a labeled data set working on that, but unsupervised is a working on the unlabeled data set. So what is unlabeled data set means? We don't have any input value corresponding output. So that is called as unsupervised learning, means that here we don't have any guidance of them. Directly we need to take the input values and we need to identify them. Okay. So on this here we have 2 types of unsupervised learnings are there, like a clustering and association. So what is a clustering means? Whenever we take a input values, okay, that are going to be the different values are there. So all the different values, from all those different values we need to identify the similar features those who are having. So we need to keep it into the one cluster. Okay, that the similar groups are going to be kept into the one group called as a cluster, and different one also keep into the another group called as another cluster. So cluster means identifying the similar features of the related data points. And another one is called as an association. What is an association means? Simply it is like a dependency, x gives rise to y. In the association is always going to apply in the market basket analysis. When if the person wants to buy X an item, need to buy a Y item, this type of market analysis we need to apply the rule called as association rule binding. And next one is a reinforcement learning. So what is a reinforcement learning means? Simply we say that it is called as a feedback based learning. The feedback based learning means simply whenever we are applying this reinforcement learning, definitely we will get some reward points, and sometimes we will get some losing of those points. So whenever we get the reward points, that is called as a feedback based learning, that is called as a reinforcement learning. And next one is a semi-supervised means it is a combination of supervised and unsupervised learning. So the 50% of supervised and another 50% of unsupervised is going to be working. So totally we can call it as a semi-supervised learning, machine learning algorithm. Okay, so this is about a paradigm of machine learning, and the supervised learning having different types of algorithms are there, unsupervised also having different types of algorithms, and reinforcement also having different types of algorithms. So we will discuss in the later classes about that.